Did you know about human zoos,
Live human beings were put on display.
where people were treated like animals and put on full display? According to psychologists, this is one of the 5 stages of dehumanization that often lead to the most horrific crimes and acts in human history. You're probably witnessing these 5 stages unfold all around us, from the torture and rape of Palestinian prisoners, to the targeting and abuse of Algerian boxer Iman Khalif, to the far-right racist and anti-immigrant violence in the UK. We use the word dehumanization all the time. But do we understand the psychology behind it? The first stage is the lesser human. This is about labeling a group of people as less evolved human beings that either possess inferior intelligence, are more likely to be lazy, dirty, violent, childlike, deceitful, brutish, or corrupt. This is where stereotypes come from, and they often reflect hierarchies established by supremacist ideologies. Anything that challenges them is a threat to the natural order of things, like an Arab woman being strong and powerful rather than exotic, weak, submissive that needs saving.
From Algeria, Iman Khalif.
Establishing the lesser human is about making a distinction between those who are civilized and evolved and those that are uncivilized and primitive. The second stage is infestation. Once established as lesser humans, the group of people are painted as a threat to the safety and well-being of the dominant group. This is most commonly done through analogies of infestation or plagues that aim to damage, destroy, or spread disease among a healthy, thriving society. And in what way do you usually deal with an infestation? Well, you call an exterminator, because you need to make something great again. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. That comes at a later stage. Stage 3. Animals. At this stage, people move from being lesser humans to becoming stripped of their humanity altogether. They become an entirely different species. There are many famous cases of that in history, like the Nazis referring to Jews as rats, Hutus calling Tutsis cockroaches, and Israelis outright calling Palestinian animals. All 3 of these examples were the precursors of genocides. This psychologically lays the foundation for violence by excluding that group from the human moral and ethical code, and so almost anything goes. Once primed through these narratives, often pushed by politicians and the media, the dominant group begins normalizing violence. It is no surprise that we're seeing this play out across the UK, following an election where racism and fascist ideas were stoked and became part of the normal public discourse. These conditions for violence are not random, but carefully crafted and designed. Stage 5. Removal and eradication. This final stage of dehumanization is the removal, eradication, and extermination of this group from society, because there is no other way to deal with this non-human that also is an existential threat to us. This unleashes horrific violence that we are now witnessing in Gaza and the Israeli rape and torture camps. Ethnic cleansing and genocide are a product of this very deliberate psychological process that strips humanity from people to offer a license to commit the unspeakable. These are happening all around us, at different stages. Not only do we need to understand what they are, but also the intent behind where they want to take us. Because stories and narratives matter, because one day we can wake up and have an entire people almost no longer with us. My name is Salim, and I tell stories that connect the unexpected. Follow for more, subscribe for more, and support us on Patreon.